So what comes after the recommendations? The action plans. Well done again. The management system action plan and the hazards and risk action plan have two separate sections on the marking scheme, and therefore we recommend that you keep those action plans separate because they will be much easier for the examiner to mark. And by the way, it's nearly always a good idea to keep things simple for the examiner. So again, your action plans must follow on from the recommendations. The guidance says, an action plan is the tool through which the recommendations will be implemented. The action plans in the assignment reports should present actions to improve the health and safety management system and to reduce the risks associated with the hazards the candidate has identified for the two risk assessments. So quite clearly, the management system action plan will take the gap analysis recommendations and break those down into actions, and the hazards and risk action plan will take the recommendations from the risk assessments and break those down into actions. So, just a side note on the action plans. If you want to implement a recommendation fully, then you will usually need more than one action. So what that means is you have to break down each recommendation into a detailed, logical, step-by-step sequence of actions. Fortunately, some students make the mistake of only having one action for every recommendation, but that's not an action plan. That is, at best, just paraphrasing your recommendations, and it won't get you many marks. NEBOSH say in the guidance, it is not a list of recommendations. So you have to show NEBOSH that you have the ability to write a detailed and smart project plan. And when I say smart, what I mean is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time-bound. I know this isn't something that's covered in the course materials in any particular depth, and it's certainly not in NEBOSH's syllabus, but it is an important professional skill. And if you want to practice health and safety at a senior level, which most of our students do, then it's a skill you need to develop, and you need to show NEBOSH that you have that skill before you pass your diploma. So tell the examiner here exactly how you will implement the recommendations step by step. So what comes after the action plans? The executive summary. Now the executive summary is inserted at the beginning of the report, but it's usually one of the last things that you write because it has to follow on from the conclusions and the recommendations. Now I'm going to read from the guidance again, please forgive me, but the guidance here is so very helpful. It tells you exactly what has to go in this summary. First of all, the purpose of the executive summary is to provide a concise overview of the important points arising from the work and summarise the main conclusions and recommendations arising from it that can be read in a short time to accommodate the schedule of a busy reader. So clearly it's all about summarising the conclusions and recommendations, but it's also about being persuasive and concise. This summary is going to be read by someone probably very senior in your organisation, someone who doesn't have the time to read all of the report. So you have just one page, and one page only, to make an impact on this person. So get to the point, make it clear, be direct, be thorough, be persuasive. If you've written this summary properly, then it should be a real struggle to get all of that information in to one page of A4.